Thank you for getting on our show early before anybody else even got on our show. And you're part of the reason that we're the first people to ever do that. So thank you so much for doing that. We really appreciate that, man.
Man, your brothers have made me so proud. I love your podcast. I love the work that you're doing. Mace, talk to me about, first of all, before we even get into a whole bunch of sports topics, because I know I see some of the takes y'all got. When y'all started this podcast, Mace, what was the thought behind it? What inspired it? How did it come about?
Actually, Cam had shot a show really well, and he invited me on there. And when he invited me on there, after I was talking to him, I said, "Yo, what if we do it together? I put this much in. Listen, I already put this amount of money in. You're gonna have to put this amount of money in." And then I had to match him, and you know, my brother was gracious enough to bring me in. And, you know, thanks to Cam for believing in me and believing that we could take it to another level. We thought that we could do anything together. When me and Cam get together, it's always a special moment. Pause.
Yeah, and I don't know what he's saying, man. I'm happy he asked me to do it because we haven't been speaking for years, and to partner up on something that was, you know, we didn't know where this show was going to go. We said we're going to keep going until we get there, but to have my brother back, just being my friend, and us not speaking so long, and then being successful that quick, I'm glad he asked me, man, because it was a hit from the beginning.
You know, I want to know, before I get into some questions, I want to know, Cam, what did you think was going to make this podcast successful? What was it about you and Mace that made you say, yo, we're going to do it, we're going to be a hit, we're going to make this happen?
I'm like, if I got to talk to people for a living, I would hate it. So I was like, I talk shit about sports all the time. And I said, professional setting by the barbershop dialogue. So we got the barber, so when I first did, I said, I'm gonna get suited up, I'm gonna get a professional setting, and I'm gonna talk to people like we talk in the barbershop or we talk on the block or just in the street in general. And when Mace wanted to come, when I asked Mace to be a guest, and, you know, we've been cool for about a year again. Like I said, we haven't spoken 15, 16 years, and at that point when I asked him to be a guest, he said, yeah, and he got on the show. You know, I'm learning his personality again, but after the first show, I said, oh, this is the same personality, this is the same guy. Then I said, oh, he ain't changed. This is the same dude. I ain't speak to 15 years ago. So I said, yo, it's a no-brainer, because I'm like, you know, the reason why I think this show is so dope for Mace is because you gotta realize when Mace was at the height of his music career, he left. And even when he was at the height, it wasn't internet, so you only got to see an interview with Mace that may have been 3 minutes, or videos that's 3 minutes, or a magazine article where you get a quote. Mace didn't really get a chance to get his personality across unless it was a video or a 3 or 4 minute, 5 minute interview. You really get to see the personality come from Mace, because there's so many people like, yo, nah, I didn't know Mace was that funny. Nah, I didn't know Mace got jokes. I didn't know Mace does that. You know, because Mace, one thing about Mace, if he ain't feeling it, he'll leave. I gotta go, if his phone go to voicemail, I gotta panic, and I'm like, yo, he skipped saying, one thing about Mace, if he don't like what's going on, he'll cut his phone off and you'll see him in 6, 7 years. So every time his phone go to voicemail, I panic.
Yeah, Stephen A, he's trying to say I'm Ben Simmons.
Passionate
feel like even on the show, that's where we compliment each other because Cam got a lot of these relationships that he's kind of biased on the truth. So my part is to come in and tell the honest to God truth about everything. So that's what I'm really passionate about, people knowing the truth unbiasedly about what's going on in sports, because I think a lot of people get a break. Until you hit your rant or Killer hit his rant, a lot of people skate by with a lot of subpar, performances.
Real quick, I gotta agree with him because I'll say, I ain't trying to get, I got some friends in the NBA and I get these floor seats and Mason, I'm not being cool with nobody, kid. I'm telling the truth.
It's been really amazing, sometimes partially overwhelming because you getting a lot of people that's giving us fanfare that we looked up to all of our lives, from a sports aspect. And then when you see those guys, like people saying stuff like, man, Mason can't rob me of 20 years of this. I could have had this 20 years ago. And stuff like that is really humbling to think people think of us in that space.
Let me give you a scenario real quick, and I won't be long-winded about it. When you're saying people in the sports world, I'll give you a perfect example. Somebody said from the Charlotte Hornets that Paul George was the GOAT of basketball, period. So I had to take, this kid is out of his rabbit-ass mind, saying that Paul George is the GOAT ever.
The GOAT?
The GOAT. I'm talking about over Michael Jordan, over LeBron James, over Kobe Bryant, over Isaiah Thomas, over Magic Johnson. Paul George is the GOAT. I went crazy and said, I don't know what this kid is smoking. I don't know where he's been, but he's out of his damn mind saying Paul George is the GOAT. Fast forward 3 weeks later, Paul George sees Mason Summerly and says, why I can't be the GOAT? What's going on, Mason? Tell Cam why I can't be the GOAT. So
yeah,
Mason,
they surrounded me. I had to call Cam. I said, yo, Cam, Paul George them got me surrounded right now. Saying why you said he couldn't be the GOAT. Nah, I ain't yeah. Stephen A, I forgot to tell the truth.
I was on podcast B. I understand, but damn, I'm like, wait a minute. Whether you ain't playing the NBA finals, let alone win one, you can't be the GOAT yet.
Yeah, he can't be the GOAT yet. Definitely can.
Let me ask you this question. What's more difficult to cover in terms of the sensitivity element? Is it covering professional sports? Is it covering the music industry?
That's a good question.
well, to me, is we come from music, so it's hard to. I'm trying to think about how to answer this question correctly. We're going to tell the truth no matter what.
Yeah.
You're going to tell the truth, and sometimes I think that artists, talking about music artists, are more sensitive than athletes because they'll take something as, they're talking about me or it's beef, to where athletes are going to get talked about, whether it's us or anybody else. Look, I remember, we're old enough to remember when ESPN had one channel. Now ESPN is sports all day long, all night long, 24 hours a day. Sports Center comes on from 11 p.m. to 8 a.m. or 7 a.m., whenever the next show comes on. So it's constant sports. So to answer the question for me, not for me, I would say music because people take it, what you say, too seriously, to where sports, whether it's us or not, somebody's going to talk about what's going on.
Yeah, and for me, I think it's sports because just like you, sometimes you're a savant at what you do, and you know exactly what you're talking about, and people try to discredit your knowledge because you didn't make it to this level or that level, and they tend to think, well, that can't be true, and how would he know? But some of the best coaches that have never played, they never played.
So as we sit here today, looking at y'all and what y'all have been able to accomplish, I'm looking at the industry itself and the world of sports and beyond, particularly with music. And I think this day and age calls for a level of truth. Not to say that it wasn't there in the past, but to hell with all of the pleasantries. You're not trying to be you're not trying to be evil. But one of the things that annoys me to no end is when a bunch of people come on TV with me, and we got to couch everything with what over the Lord was. When I bring up LeBron James, I literally made a ticker on First Take on ESPN going like this: great father, great husband, entrepreneur, businessman. I don't just say all that. I think because damn, I can't sit up here and say he's the second greatest player of all time without people feeling like it's insulting. It gets annoying to me. Does this excite y'all, or have y'all found yourselves annoyed by having to count some things, or having to deal with, if you didn't count something, having to deal with the fallout, when all you was doing was talking about sports or music and breaking stuff down through your lens? Mace, I'll start with you on that question.
Yeah, to me, sports is like art. Everybody got an opinion, and everybody have a different lens in which they view things from. Because to me, I wouldn't have them too, but you know, that's my opinion. You know.
To answer your question, Stephen A., I get their rich Paul calls too. Yo, calm down on niggas, man. Calm down, bro. Yo, yeah. So I know what you're talking about. Shout out to Rich Paul, that's my guy. In general, look, to me, it's fresh for me and it's new. And when you got somebody like Patrick Beverly coming back and saying something, or Draymond Green saying something about what we said, to me it's like, as long as y'all know where the culture's at and paying attention, whether you're mad about it or indifferent, as long as you're watching, like for instance, we'll give you a situation with Patrick Beverly. Patrick Beverly, he said he doesn't have sex before games because it takes away. And I told him, and basically I had a take and I said, yo, Pat, go have sex, man. You averaging a single. It's all good. You might as well go have sex. It's cool. So he got mad and he was like, yo, Cam, I liked you better in the movie. And when you was playing Rico in the movie, and I'm like, yo, you know that I was acting, right? That wasn't, I'm not the nigga from the movie, bro. My name is Cam. So he went back on his podcast, said some good things about it, back and forth. But just knowing that I'm the culture, and I have to take that to effect too, that some of these players, man, came up listening to our music or watching movies and so on and so forth. So now when they see us talk about sports, they like, hold up, I like Cam my whole life. I bought all his albums. Now he's critiquing my game, and it's
great.
like, it's crazy. So I be like, sometimes I get a little conscious, but I got a job to do at the same time.
You know, I want to transition a couple of subjects because I've been aching to ask y'all about this stuff, right? Because you brought up, you know, what you talked to with Pat Beverly and whatever. Draymond Green, he's ready to suspended for 5 games after that headlock he threw on Rudy Gobert. I thought, first of all, it wasn't a headlock, it's a chokehold. Let's call it. Not suspended for 5 games. Fair or not, Cameron? Was that fair or foul? The 5-game suspension?
I think, see, there's another relationship. Draymond.
You're messing up the good side of the tickets, man.
No, but seriously, to be honest with you, I think if this was Damon, if it was a different commissioner, I think Adam Silver's more of a players commissioner than David Stern was. So he talks to players, he's more opinionated on how they feel. And I think this was a very, very low-end suspension. I remember Carmelo Anthony punching somebody in the face in Madison Square Garden and getting about 35, 40 games or something like that. And I think this was way
Also remember, that was one of those games where Nate Robinson got in a fight.
right.
You know, it didn't quite end the same way it ended with him against Paul.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. No, but I was just saying that I just think, to me, it's kind of low. If I had a judge, then I would say anywhere from 8 to 10 games, and no disrespect, Draymond. But I'm just saying, you know, Carmelo hit on a flash punch, got 35, 40 games. I don't remember the exact amount of games. I remember it was a long. It was a lengthy. This chokehold was about a 17-second thing. So, yeah.
He was trying to make him go to sleep.
Yeah, he put him in the sleeper.
He had him in the sleeper.
So.
What did you think about Pat Bev saying Cat didn't do a damn thing, Carl Anthony Towns? I mean, he was supposed to do something. What did you think about that?
Yeah, he was definitely supposed to get active. Pat Bev was right about that. And that's what made the low game suspension really crazy, because that fight could have spiraled into. He wasn't even initially in the fight. He comes from the blind side choking niggas. You know, that was crazy. Yeah.
Somebody did that to one of y'all.
Oh yeah.
Somebody snatched y'all up the way Draymond snatched that Rudy Gobert. What one of y'all do?
Listen, me and Cam is like that, so in the days, a guy named Dame Dash, you might know the name. Dame Dash said he was gonna beat me up. Cam grabbed the baseball bat and said, "Yo, Dame, you can't do that, Dame."
Hey, listen, we all was cool. All of us was cool. But see, the thing about Dame is he's one step lower than a professional boxer. A lot of people don't know he fought Golden Gloves and everything else. So I'm like, that's not a fair fight for me to fight. Anybody, if you get into an argument, somebody and their first reaction is, so you want to box? Not fight. Not get it on. Do you want to box? That means they have a little knowledge about some boxing. Yeah, but Dame Dash to beat him. We love it.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this question. I heard that, I got on that lady, the wife of Joe Smith, a couple of weeks ago, because she made news. Diamond out, former NBA player Joe Smith, born #1 overall pick, Joe Smith. Diamond out, talking about right now we got money issues, all of this other stuff. I thought that was great. I thought that was great. Having said all that, I heard that
Well, actually, Stephen A., we thought we were flying in the body rub babes, but she came out of nowhere and said she wanted to be the one to give Cam the massage. So that was crazy. And then we was talking about it, and she was having a conversation. She would ride or die. She said she would ride, but she wouldn't die. So I said, okay, we got a new ride. What you want to say, Caleb?
What I'll say about the situation, Mace got her to give me a massage.
you got the massage already?
Yeah, it's on our
It's
show.
on the show.
It's on the show. She did it live on the show.
Oh my Lord. She gave you the massage.
Yeah, but
You know what my next question is, right? Was it good?
Let me say, she got paid. She got paid.
yeah.
I ain't trying to be Dr. Illustrated. I'm talking about me being Dr. or something like that. I ain't trying to do all that. But damn, I feel somebody got to look out for the fellas. We've been over our society is overpopulated. There's not been enough men out there looking out for men. We've been subjected to Oprah. Filming the man while you arguing?
Well, let me tell you. This is what originally happened. How this all came about. Our moderator on the show, Trace, decided to give her an opportunity to do her own show. She wanted Joe Smith's wife to be on the show. Mm-hmm. So when she was coming on the show, she told Stat Baby, Treasure Wilson, I'm not going to do your show if Kim and Mace is not there. We're not on that show.
Yeah.
That's totally her show by herself. She said, well, I won't do your show unless Kim or Mace is there to do it. So when I said, fine, no problem. Now, mind you, this is my day off. I wasn't even supposed to be at work this day. So I came to Stat Show so she could do the interview. Mason had prior obligations, he couldn't make it. When she got on the air, her cleavage was out, it was oiled up, and she knew how she was coming on the screen, so I said, you have nice cleavage, because it seemed like it wanted to be, cleavage wanted to be. They do things, and not me particularly, to drive us guys crazy to say, I'm going to put on these Daisy Dukes and oil up and I'm going to oil up my legs, or I'm going to put oil up my body, and then when somebody comes, oh, you got nice thighs. What you looking at me for? You knew what you was doing before you left the house. So you just do this again. Yo, exactly. So here's the thing before I won't be long with it. I wasn't supposed to be there. I think you can get the ratings on how your cleavage is showing. Secondly, we asked, what have you been doing? Oh, I have a massage company called the Body Rub Babes. Oh, do they travel? Yeah, we travel. So when they found out that they traveled, he tried to book one of the Body Rub Babes for me, and it was hard. Right, so that's what happened. But to be clear, and to add on what you just said, listen, they take these bites from our show and put out what they want to put out. We was on Joe Smith's side 100%. He's a #1 pick. The fact that he doesn't have any money right now disturbs us terribly, and we were trying to figure out a way that NBA can take care of these players that put so much into the game. You know, Joe Smith said he made 61 grand, but after paying taxes, lawyers, agents, etc., that dwindled. We talked about that on the show as well, and we're saying that was definitely not a good look. And we was hoping that some of Joe Smith's former NBA friends that were still cool with him help look out for him, man, because we thought that wasn't cool at all. So we don't want people to think.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's what I tried to get her to understand. I tried to get her to understand that you said you was married to this guy, you said you was there for better or for worse, but it seemed like all the ors she wasn't there for. She wasn't there for the, and everybody started laughing, but it was serious. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Stephen A. Real quick, because I want you to finish what you're saying, but that we're on this topic. Female, we have that 100% down pat. Who's worse right now, her situation or Jada Pinkett Smith?
I personally think, well, that's a damn good question.
And then I got one after that. Yeah.
Jada has emasculated women. There's a difference. Now, I'm not saying that the Joe Smith wife didn't do that either, but in the same breath, you on hard times, you just kicking a brother while he's down. That's really making you look bad. In Jada Pinkett Smith's case, not only is she making herself look bad, she making him look even worse. And this brother was, look, we all know why he slapped Chris Rock.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you emasculate this man, what the hell you gonna do? You gonna stand there and let him joke around like that? That's why he got up there like that. Now he wouldn't have slapped you. He wouldn't have slapped either one of y'all. He wouldn't have slapped the Rock. He wouldn't have slapped Snoop Dogg.
Right.
He did that because it was Chris Rock. But that's where I'm at with it. Jada Pinkett Smith is much worse. What are you gonna ask me, Mace?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, that was a good one. That was the semifinal. She go to the championship. Who's worse, loss of Pippen or Jada?
I'm going to still say it's Jada Pinkett Smith. Let me tell you why.
Yes, sir.
Because if Lawson was with MJ, that would be different.
Yeah.
Now, it's not great. It's not a good look, but that don't have anything to do with Michael Jordan other than that's his son. Okay? And, that's all that is. It's not an embarrassing situation for Scottie Pippen, and I get all of that, but that's not MJ directly. In Jada's case, everything she has done has served to smear the name of Will Smith. I'll let y'all get money up. This is my last question to y'all. Because I want everybody to know that as you out there make music and make money off of making music anytime y'all want to, as gifted as y'all are.
Right.
I want to let the audience know, do you plan on doing any of this? Or are you married to this podcast right here and continuing to blow it up for years and years to come? I'll start with you, Cameron.
Well, the first priority is definitely the podcast. We have some great relationships. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy and our other partners. So we have some priorities here. But the question is, he takes me to the studio. We do 92 songs, and then he'd be like, "I'll let you know when we put it out," and I have no date on it. But right now, I would put him top 8, 9 rappers. He'll say number 1. He said he doesn't rap like that because there's no competition. But if it's up to me, that's a question.
On the spot, yeah, we're putting out music.
You put out music?
Yeah, we're definitely putting out music. We gotta put out something, right? I think probably Black Friday.
Now look, Stephen, they remember he saying this.
Black Friday. We gotta at least drop a record. We got something special we gotta drop.
I gotta get ready to get on out of here, man, but I want to let y'all know I'm proud of y'all, man. I was happy to come on the podcast. I love what y'all doing. I love that rawness that y'all can bring to the table. There's a lot of cats trying to do it, but y'all actually are doing it. So keep up the great work. Keep working hard. Stay on your grind. Make it happen like you've been doing all your life, man. Both of y'all. Much love and appreciation.
And thank you real quick for doing what you're doing as far as the culture concerned, because it's people like you that make us think that we could do what we're doing now. And congrats on the new studio and everything else you got going on.
Thank you so much, Stephen A. We'll be up there to use that studio.
Damn right. I'm gonna make sure I get